Shirts and skins, let's get it, yo. Shirts and skins and we back again. The best coverage in college sports, we come to win. With Brandon, Mark, and Matt, no one go hard as that. Share it with your folks and they'll learn where it all be at. It's just three of the guys, childhood friends that be setting the vibe with a few hot takes, jokes, and predictions. Love the Boise State, we now welcome you to listen. Shirts and skins, let's go.
Love the Boise State, he says. Love the Boise State.
I didn't tell him anything about the college.
And he welcomes you to listen. And so do we. The Boise State Bronco Nation, what is up? Welcome to the Shirts and Skins podcast. It's a Monday night.
Day after the Super Bowl.
Day after the Super Bowl. We've all eaten junk food.
Everybody called in sick.
Called in sick or sad or depressed.
My son didn't want to go to school. He's a Bills fan, by the way.
My son went to school late today.
So he didn't want to go to school because all his buddies that like the Chiefs, he didn't want to hear from.
Yeah.
He didn't want to hear from them. I remember those days, dude. Like the 49ers and Cowboys when we were kids and the rivalry. And
it's because you were a
that was
Niners
rough.
fan.
That was a Niners fan.
Yeah.
Growing up.
Yeah.
I'm mild. Yeah.
Shout out to Travis Hawk's dad.
What? Travis Hawk's dad's passed away.
Correct.
Yeah.
Bill Hawks.
Okay. Yeah.
Walked into Pro Image.
Okay.
Didn't have any money. Was walking around. Bill was up at the front desk, and I'm staring at a 49ers little football. Just like, I want this so bad. And he walks up. He's like, how much money do you have? I was like, $2. He's like, that's how much money this football is. And he like, let me buy it. And I turned around, and I showed my mom. And she's like, you didn't buy that? And I was like, I bought it.
Yeah, I did.
And she's like, you didn't buy that. You don't have the money to buy that. And so
He was
like,
probably $1, dude.
it.
He made a profit off
And then
it.
I was like, can I get more at that price?
He's like, ugh.
But I had that like San Francisco football for a long time.
Dude, another Bill Hawks story. Walked in a Pro Image with my brothers at the mall. I think I've shared this before.
Dude, Bill running the front desk.
No, he was
That's
good.
impressive.
He was good. We walk in. He sees me and my brothers. I don't know if he knew who we were, but he's like, hey, you guys are the 1,000th customers.
No.
Grab a poster out of the thing.
Oh.
Got a poster. I don't know. It might have been Michael Jordan. I don't know.
No way were you the 1,000th.
No way. Not a chance.
Bill's a good guy, man.
I got a funny Bill Hawks story.
Whoa, we're going around.
crazy.
Hey, let's just
Bill Hawks.
let's just play.
This wasn't on the
He's a
agenda.
good guy.
for
It was
today.
not.
Let's
No,
play
I
the
worked for
fireside
Pro
music.
Image. I worked for Pro Image, right? So in high school,
Bill was tired of man in the front desk.
So yeah, he was tired. I got the job, right? Actually, I worked at Caps, which is affiliated.
Two Z's.
Anyways, long story, but we did a booth down at like the fair or something down there, and I'm working my shift. It's over, and he comes to me. He's like, "Hey, can you stay an extra couple minutes till Travis comes to clean up?" And it was like my shift was over. I was like, "Sure, no problem." So I stayed like maybe 5 minutes extra, and he's like, "Oh, thanks." And he gave me a $20 bill. I'm like, what is this? Like, I don't need, back then I was making like $5 an hour.
Okay, don't say that to the IRS.
Yeah, right.
Well,
No, and he goes, and I go, no, I don't need, no. And I was like trying to say no. He goes, Mark, I know your dad. He goes, I'm sure your dad wouldn't want you to accept that, but let me teach you a lesson in life. If someone gives you money, you take it.
Okay.
That's what he said to me. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
All right, thanks.
Dude, who would have thought Bill had such a big...
Good guy. Good. He was a great guy.
He is a great guy.
Great guy.
He's incredible.
Anyways, okay.
Okay, where do we go from there?
Where's Travis?
What do we-
Travis, join us on the podcast sometime.
Join us.
We do want to invite
Hey,
Travis.
I've invited him.
He's been invited.
All right.
Apparently, Tommy Alquist is better than us.
He is better than us and a lot richer than us.
He doesn't need the $20.
He doesn't need the $20.
Or the free football or the free poster.
Okay.
We've got coaching news to talk about. Bush Hamdan.
Yeah.
Brandon.
Yeah.
You're. We've
Started off right
I'm
there.
worried.
just
Yeah,
go
we're
right
jumping
into it.
into it.
Look,
we're
I
going to talk
just...
basketball a little bit later.
Okay.
But Brandon, I've been worried about you. I know
Yeah.
my brother Ren has been worried
Yeah.
about you.
Yes, he has.
Bush Hamdan, news coming out. Nothing
Yeah.
is official. However, talks of him leaving to join the staff at Kentucky.
I just want to ask everybody, respect my privacy during this difficult time. Okay? We're going through a hard time.
No, just go
No,
with it.
respect my privacy. Look, I give you your privacy when you need it.
Yeah, right. You put me in a cold bath in front of everybody.
true.
What are you talking about?
They saw your
Shirt's off.
naked chest.
Do you want my thoughts on it?
Yeah.
It hasn't happened.
It's not. Yeah, it's
About
just
50 hours. It broke Saturday afternoon. It's Friday. Like that. Pete Thamel is rarely wrong. I mean, he's, so he said it would happen within a couple days. BJ came and said Boise State's trying to do whatever they can to keep him. That's all we've heard. Take it from there.
What happened? Can I just get some background information first?
yeah.
What happened that the OC from Kentucky was vacant?
I have no idea.
He's coaching at Tampa. Tampa.
Okay.
Oh, that's right.
The Bucks.
NFL.
Because there was such a huge cascade of effects when Saban left.
Yeah.
I mean, the reality is when he's making a good wage here in Boise, a good wage in general, $460. It's a good wage.
Wage.
It's a good amount of money.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because he's a W-2 employee there.
Yeah.
Yep.
When somebody comes to you and says, you're making $460 or $4 whatever, I'm going to pay you $1.5 million or whatever the amount is.
It's a little bit
You
of a
just can't
raise.
do anything. You just can't do anything. And that's why it's so freaking depressing because I like Bush Hamdan. He was an incredible offensive coordinator. I'm calling out Brett Hughes.
Brett Hughes
The
from
fake-
Boise Premier Real Estate.
Boise Premier Real Estate. Who knows?
The real
formerly
estate market,
nothing.
they haven't made any money in this
No,
market in the last
they-
10 years.
Formerly Boise
They
Cribs.
haven't made
Formerly Boise Cribs. Brett Hughes. I call because he's like, oh, he's a bad coordinator. He didn't play good. He's just a good recruiter. I'm like, dude, you stop that right now. I will
Blasphemy.
slap you. I will drive to your nice home and I will slap you across the face.
I thought you were calling him
Because-
for not divvying out money to Boise State.
No,
Well, that too.
we should call Brett and get on. No, it bugged the crap out of me. I was texting. I'm like, that's a huge loss. And he's like, oh, he's a bad coordinator. I really think he was a great coordinator. He called great games so far. And it bugged me because count the coordinators we've had since, how far back do we want to go?
Zach
Peterson
Hill was
era?
good. Okay.
Let's
Okay.
just go back
Okay.
and count how long they've left. So when Harsin left, we had Pease
Oh,
for
okay.
2 years.
Yeah.
When Harsin left as offensive
Yeah,
coordinator.
I got it.
We had Prince. Didn't last very long.
That wasn't
Peterson
good.
left.
Yep.
Harsin came in. We had Sanford.
We had
1 year.
yeah.
One
Okay.
year at Stanford, yeah.
And then Hill came in. Or no, Drinkowicz.
You missed Smith in there, but that's okay. He was with Pete.
Oh,
but
for a year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jonathan
All right.
Smith.
Jonathan
So
Smith.
Prince left. Smith came.
Yep.
Harsin, head coach, came.
Yep.
We had Sanford, who did a good job that year.
Yep.
Drinkwitz.
Fiesta Bowl.
Drinkowicz, 1 year.
Yep.
So Sanford, 1 year. Drinkowicz, 1 year.
One or two. Yeah.
Drinkowicz, I think, was
it
just
one or
1
two?
year.
Two tops, but probably one.
Okay. Well, then you got Hill. He
Yeah,
stayed
Hill was a
for
couple.
2 years.
Yep.
And then Harsin left.
Something like that. Was there one more in there for Harsin?
Okay, it's like
I don't know.
I mean,
Yeah.
Too many to
Hill,
keep track of.
Yeah.
It's musical chairs right now,
Yep.
dude. It's so
Yep.
stupid.
Oh,
so
yep.
you got Hill, and then what's his face came in. Andy Avalos came in,
Oh,
and
that
you
was a
had
mess.
Plow for a year and a half, and then you
Plow, dude.
had
Plow
and
Cutter.
then you had Cutter,
Cutter.
who's been our best offensive coordinator, and then you had Bush
Who?
for 1 year.
1 year
year.
Bush.
You can't keep doing this, dude. You can't do this.
It's the life of the mid.
It's stupid,
No,
dude.
it's-
It's stupid. And
This
can
is
we just
unique.
It is
right?
unique. It's unique to the best programs in the major or the Power Five and the Group of Five because Saban lost his coordinators everybody's just looking to move up. Okay,
Right,
Can
right,
we
right.
take a moment to reflect on the time when there were coaches at a school for decades? Literal decades. Like
You're wasting your time.
I
We
know.
can
I'm just
reflect.
saying. I'm just saying. Like
Moment of
Stoops, all these guys that were there for so long, they kept the continuity, and it's ridiculous. We just bring in Malachi Nelson. We're just like building up some
Dude,
steam.
and who was his connection?
Bush. Was
Bush
it Bush?
Hamdan.
The only argument we have to keep Bush is this. Okay, you're gonna make your money. Okay.
At some point, he's
You're
going to
make your
his
money. Give us a year. See how it goes. If we get into the playoff, everybody's going to go after you, okay?
Yep.
Stay here 1 more year, maybe 2 more years, and then you're going to go to whichever offensive coordinating position shows up. Okay? Don't just go pick the first one.
The most interesting thing is that's the exact argument that our staff used with Ashton Genty. Is they said, Ashton, you're going to have tons of opportunities right now. Okay, stay here for 1 more year, and
You'll get your money.
and you'll get a little money, But you staying here is we're going to develop you better. You're going to be better off for the NFL draft if you stay here.
I'm saying in the draft, he's going to get his money.
Yeah. Of course, yeah. So that's the tough one for me is that I'm not surprised. And I heard someone talking about like Bush changed jobs every year or two. That's just who he is. But just we shouldn't be surprised anymore. These coaches, they always say, I mean, Sanford was the guy, this was my dream job, and he was gone in a year. I mean, but it's not just here, it's everywhere. But just the way that it went down, the way that, he talked about the loyalty by Genty and some other players to stay here. And then how he talked about, it was a couple days ago, he was in an interview and he was saying how he was so happy to be back, that he got a contract, that his family's so happy to be here because they moved too much, they wanted to settle down. Like, he literally said that, like, within the last few weeks. And it's like, Kentucky? The thing that's confusing to me, he's going to make a lot more money.
They were 7-6.
But it doesn't matter the school.
So it matters in this context, or it's just confusing in this context. He was the OC at Missouri. Yeah. He took a pay cut to come to Boise State. And now I get that Kentucky would be an upgrade financially from Missouri, but it's a downgrade in team, in program, big time. Missouri's a top 10 team. They're 9th or 10th.
Kentucky
Missouri was.
Recently is regularly ranked, but still.
It's a basketball school. It's been okay the last couple years. But it wasn't about the money when
Is it still Stoops?
It's still Stoops.
He stayed? Okay.
So there's some consistency there. And I don't know if he left Missouri because Drinkwitz really was kind of on the, like, this last year was really good for Missouri, but I don't know if he felt like maybe Drinkwitz was on the hot seat and he wants some stability. I don't know. My guess is that there was no idea. He had no idea that Andy Ellis was about to get fired. My guess is he came to Boise State thinking that Andy Ellis was going to do exactly what everyone else did. After a couple years' success, move on, and he would be the next guy in line. And Andy Ellis got fired in less than a year, and Danielson gets the job.
Not Bush.
And I think that he's just like, well, wait a second. Danielson's going to be here for what? A minimum 3-4 years. I don't know if I want to wait that long. Therefore, I'm going to go, to an SEC school, get 3 to 4 times my pay, and maybe he sees this as a better opportunity because he's stated he wants to be head coach.
You think maybe he's waiting, he'll go do his time elsewhere and then come back?
He's burned that bridge. I really think leaving after 1 year has burned that bridge, at least in the short term. Because I know Sanford, it felt like Sanford burnt that bridge. Remember that when he left after 1 year and people were like, dude, 1 year? But he went to freaking Notre Dame. He went to Notre Dame. But right now, people still, because Sanford's been kind of involved in some stuff. I'd be super happy with Sanford. We could talk about that in a second. But we'll talk about that. But I don't know. I just think that burns that bridge here. I really do.
I think these bridges rebuild so quickly because coaches, you get so desperate.
Yeah.
You have no idea the level of desperation will be.
Some get rebuilt sooner than others.
Look at Harsin. He burnt bridges here. Like, I really feel like when Avalos got fired, Harsin all of a sudden changed his Twitter profile, have a Boise State thing in the background. He showed up on BJ's show out of nowhere. I think he really wanted the job. And I don't think he even got a sniff. I didn't think they even talked to him. I don't know that, but because he burnt bridges. And I think Bush, if he leaves right now, I think he can kiss being a coach here goodbye. But
I disagree. I don't think he's been as prominent enough figure, right? He hasn't been head coach. I think once you go to that level of head coach, then it's a different game.
So if Danielson leaves in 4 years, let's say, you think Bush is...
He could.
I don't know. Maybe.
He hasn't been head coach before.
How desperate are we?
Well, have you listened? I don't know. Did you listen to Prater today? I listened to him on Bronco Nation News.
Mike Prater?
Michael Forrest Prater?
Michael Forrest Prater. And I agreed with it. I don't know. I just think that there's some sentiment just because what you just said, Malachi Nelson, Genty, this
he was saying
we're building.
Bush owes it to us.
He doesn't know it. I don't agree with that. He's looking out for him. I get it.
Michael said it, not me.
Here's the thing. I think Genty stayed here. Everyone's like, oh, he's loyal. And I do think Genty likes it here. I really think Genty stayed here for a business decision. I think he felt like his best option to get drafted is to ball out here in Boise, play really well, keep some of the SEC miles off his body, And that's the main reason. And he liked it and he's comfortable here. And I think Bush leaving, if he does, is a business decision. Yes, he'll get paid more in the short term, but I think he's leaving because he wants to be a head coach. And for whatever reason, he sees being an OC at Kentucky will get him there quicker than being an OC here.
But can we go more towards the macro of college football in general?
Go ahead. It sucks.
You can't, there's no possibility of keeping up when you can't pay your coach as much as the offensive coordinators.
Correct.
Or the main coordinators.
Yep.
You can't pay your coach as much as maybe an assistant coach there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Who knows? And so it's like that gap is widening faster than we can even or that I can even keep up with or comprehend. And to me, I don't know where that leaves 64 teams.
Yeah, so we've talked about this a little bit. Like 15 years ago or Pete era, our coordinators were like on par with the bottom half of the Pac-12. We're not even within shouting distance anymore.
No.
And that's why he was able to retain staff for his first half of his tenure here. And then he started losing guys, but it's so Pete.
Yep.
But it's the gap is widening.
So it's like
wide.
you have to see that coaches are going to the NFL because they from college to NFL because the
Ryan Grubb.
Brian Grubb. Ryan Grubb, and then Chip Kelly and Huff went with them. And it makes total sense. Everybody knows why. Harbaugh, all these guys are like, I'm not that interested in college anymore because of the chaos effect.
Yeah.
And you can keep coaches in the NFL a lot better. You know?
Oh, yeah. They just have to coach.
And so it's a broken system right now for everybody because not only for Power 5 teams who are losing coaches like crazy on every level, on the best programs
Chip
are
Kelly
losing him.
Left UCLA as the head coach to be an offensive coordinator at Ohio State.
And I agree with it. Like, honestly, I agree with it because of the headache of it. And so it's going to, the more of these high profile coaches leave, the more these power brokers are going to come together and be like, the NCAA, okay, and let's go. we gotta calm it down. And so, and you know what I think? I think they got to understand that, look, you can't keep pillaging the smaller guys or else you're...
They don't care about the smaller guys.
I'm just going to say it's just like, it's a stupid pillaging system that works out to be like, we can't keep up. We can't do it. So what's the point?
Well, it's catch-22 because you work so hard for this success just to lose everybody.
Lose it.
It's like, we're going to be good. We're going to be good.
Look at University of Idaho.
Yeah.
Well, it's a bummer.
That's on the macro. So.
Yeah. I
don't know. Look, I mean, it's not a big deal if Bush leaves. I'll just go into a 6-month depression. Okay,
not a big deal.
I won't talk to my kids. I won't love anybody for 6 months or so.
Brokenhearted.
We had
it's not a big deal. I'll just gain a lot of weight.
Like, do you listen to what song do you listen to in your car?
It's been a lot of Adele. It's been a lot of like deep
Go easy
thought.
on me.
Yeah, and it's just look. It's fine. I'll be fine after a year. Okay,
I envision you sitting in your car in the parking lot, listening to sad songs. Your employees walking past you.
Look,
and you're just like, just keep going.
Here's the deal. I love the Wildcats. I've always loved them.
Who's the Wildcats?
Kentucky?
Seriously, Kentucky?
Kansas State? Yeah,
I get it. Look, I love them. Okay, I've always loved them. I've always been a cat type guy.
You've always been frisky, like a cat.
So let's embrace it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That hurts, bro. I'm going to be honest. That freaking hurts. And it hurts. And it makes me want to cry.
You drove the Bush train. You weren't a passenger. You were...
I was actively campaigning the Bush train. I
shirt off.
Felt very comfortable
capital
there.
B
on
the chest.
Very comfortable.
Yeah.
And was happy on that train. I like that train. It was a great train to be on.
How does it affect your life if Bush comes out tomorrow saying, you know what? I'm staying.
Oh, it's going to make me happy. I mean, look, I will start eating again. We'll start kind of I think, participating in society again, like, paying taxes.
Getting out of bed in the morning.
Yeah. I think
opening up the shades.
I think my family will like that. Yeah. I think in general.
You might shave.
So back to the micro. We had a comment on Twitter from Dayton. Robeson or Robison? Robeson.
I'm gonna go with Robeson.
Robeson.
Could be wrong. There's no N though.
He wanted to know our thoughts on how this affects us win-loss. Looking into next year, does this and I think the answer to that is, well, who do we get instead of him, right? And that leads into his other point is what's the list of candidates, right? So, I mean, if they lose Bush and they promote Matt Miller, that's worth at least 1 or 2 games, right?
What, losses?
Losing, yes.
Is that what you think?
Yes.
Miller?
No, I mean, who knows? Who
don't
knows?
know.
I mean,
I have no idea.
No, we don't know.
An
but
unproven offensive coordinator
That's what I'm
anywhere
saying.
else? Yeah, who knows? You have no idea. It
well,
could be.
okay.
It could
We don't
go
know
crazy.
anything. Let's just go home then. Let's not talk about anything.
Okay, let's end
okay,
it right
let's
now.
end it right now.
Well,
Cue
my
the
point
music.
is, it's like that's just not a question that anybody can answer because it could be incredible. It could be the next whiz
Dude,
kid.
Coach Pete was the next,
Yeah.
whatever.
So
Okay.
I don't know the list of candidates. I really don't know.
So what is the list? Okay, what do we
Is
think?
it
If
just-
we could make up a list of candidates, who would it be?
you know
Who would
better
I put
than
on my list?
I haven't seen a list anywhere.
I
I
would put Michael Sanford Jr.
I
on there.
absolutely
or
would.
whatever he is, second.
Mike,
I don't know.
Mike Sanford.
Mike
He was
Sanford.
great here. He was good in other stops. He went through some rocky spots. He did develop Jordan Love
Yeah.
in college. He likes to remind everyone of that a lot too. But
Well,
he
I
did,
mean-
and he had a great year with Grant Hedrick. I mean, I like Sanford. I think you could do a lot worse than Sanford. He's available. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
That's
Who's
your best
available
ability?
2 weeks,
Availability is your best ability.
2-3 weeks before spring practice. Who's available?
He would probably have to give up his spot on BNN, though.
Well, he's off
Ball talk.
right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ball talk's off season right now, but he would have to give that up.
Let's see.
Who else?
Okay, all right, hold
Harsin.
on. Harsin,
No.
Sanford,
Not happening.
Okay.
Lee Marks.
At Fresno State?
So Lee,
No,
no,
he's-
he
wait,
was
where's he
at
at?
UW, but
UW.
where is he
Oh,
now? Where
He
is Lee
wanted
Marks?
it bad here,
He
and then he
wanted it
left to
bad.
Fresno.
He literally went to Fresno because he got passed up for the
Yeah.
OC job. But that wasn't Danielson, you know?
Robert Prince?
Who knows about Robert Prince or not? I don't know where he's at.
Please, no.
What
know.
about Scott Frost? I know we talked to him. He hasn't
Would
done
he
anything
want
since he
an
got.
offensive coordinator position?
To make $400,000 a year?
Look,
Well,
here's the deal.
sometimes they get back into the game for
Well,
a year
here's
or
the
two.
deal. You need to make choices with the short time frame.
That's the thing.
You just have to do
exactly.
it. You can't make a decision based on the next 5 years.
They hired Danielson for the next 2 years. Really? I mean, that's what Jeremiah Dickey said. We're the
For the
12-team
CFP
playoff for
run.
the CFP run.
Yeah.
We only have 2 years guaranteed. So you got to make this hire on not Matt,
year.
no offense to Matt Miller, but someone that's
one and
proven,
done.
maybe a one and done.
It will be a one and done. That's what they all are.
Okay, so they're one
Go
and
back
done.
and show me a non-one and done, dude.
Certainly not more than 2. So
So it has to be an instant impact guy. And you know, the thing about
I
it
think
is,
Sanford. I really like Sanford. He knows our personnel, like because I watched all those ball talks. He knows
true.
football. I mean, all these guys that are OCs know football, right? But I don't know. And here's the thing about Sanford. Okay, he's been from here around the block, and he's talked a lot
got
about like
knocked out,
moving his family,
gotten
been
up.
knocked down, been fired, I wouldn't be shocked if he were to get hired if he doesn't leave in a year and just says, I love Boy. You know, I'm not saying he's going to be here for 20 years as an OC, but I would be shocked if he came here, had a good year, and left in 1 year.
Let's say it's Harsin.
They're not.
Stop
gonna
it.
hire Harsin.
Stop
It's
it.
not Harsin.
Stop it.
It's
Let's
not
just
gonna be
say I'm
Harsin.
having. All right, let's go home then.
Hey, what about Nate Potter?
I want
Okay,
to
tell
talk
us about.
Oh, all right.
He's
nope.
the co-offensive coordinator right now.
Okay, but can I ask you a question about contract buyouts with Harsin?
Sure.
Because Auburn owes less than his salary, right? Auburn owes.
I think they owed him 14 to 20.
Yeah, but
million
they
to
subtract
go-
out his salary. Is that? Don't they subtract out
right,
the
yeah,
salary
like
if he gets
400.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just think that's interesting. If you could go to Harsin and be like, we're going to pay you $100K.
Yeah.
Take one for the team.
Yeah, we could add some money
He's not
elsewhere. We
losing
could
any
do
money,
other.
is what
Yeah,
you're
he's not
saying.
losing $1,
Yeah.
you know, or we're going to pay you $1, so you just pay less in taxes. I don't know. I think that's interesting.
That would be tough for Harsin to come
is
back
too
and
big
work
of
for
a character.
Yeah, he's working for a guy that he hired as a GA. I just don't. No way, dude. That would be awesome, though. I
This
think
is just
Sanford,
so
I
stupid,
think
dude. It's so
that we're talking
stupid.
because, dude, we talked about like so much positive momentum going
yeah.
into the offseason and the offense specifically. And that's the thing, you're gonna leave for Kentucky.
You know,
I
you
mean,
got to
okay,
tell.
you leave for Notre Dame, you leave for Georgia, you leave for Alabama, you leave for Ohio State, you leave for Oregon. You don't leave for Kentucky, dude.
And we talk
You
about-
have a decent year this
No,
year.
you
can
leave
get
for
anywhere.
$1.8 million. That's
Yeah,
why
that's
you
true.
leave.
That's true.
It's not. Doesn't matter.
But he
Insert
can
name
get-
here.
He can get
Doesn't matter.
A little
Vanderbilt?
patience, man. He can get that next
What
year.
about Vandy?
I
It's
don't
easy for
care
me.
the name. $1.8 million. I
get
told
it.
my
I
wife
get it.
that.
I
I
get
told my wife that. She's like, why would he stay? I'm like, well, maybe. And she's like, why would he stay? I'm like, well, I like him.
His hair looks good.
He's good. And she's like, what? You don't stay. It's
Such a
like,
good point, though,
all
when,
right.
from an outsider's perspective.
And that is
not the
that is
emotional.
one very important thing to
Yeah.
consider. It's not just Bush making the decision, right? He's married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His wife plays into it for sure. So,
But I honestly think he's going to make that same amount
Next
a year
year.
or two, whenever he wants to make it.
And he's 38, or he's got plenty. It's not like he's in like in a rush.
Yeah.
I don't know.
why
I
does-
get it, but I
why
don't
does-
get it.
It's just interesting to me because Bush came here after leaving Missouri.
Yeah.
Stacey Collins just came back.
And he
From
took
Penn
he
State.
took
It's a pay
at least a
cut.
50% pay cut.
So when
it's
do you
not-
decide pay cut versus I'm
Is
chasing
it when
the
your
money?
kids are in high school?
I think it's a good question. I think it goes back to what his long-term goals are and how he thinks he's going to get there.
So if head coach is the top of the list,
Which it is. He said that. And was he miffed? I don't think he can be miffed that Daniels got the job, not him, because Daniels has been here for so many years. But I just think he sees the deck's been reshuffled. Daniels is starting at year 1 now. What kind of head coaching job could you get from an OC at Boise State?
If you like the kids that are here,
San Jose,
I'm just saying, if you like the kids that you're here,
then stay.
and
He
you're
should
like,
stay for
I
another
could
year.
see it for another year.
Well,
Why
he
don't we
should.
try it out? Like,
One more year.
There's a legitimate argument there for me. That's like, hey, look, we
Like
just
just
got
man
all
to
these
man.
guys.
Bro to bro.
Yeah,
Bromance to
I'm-
bromance.
Yes, let's sit down
we
over a
tagged him.
Valentine's
He didn't
dinner.
respond
I
today.
tagged Bush.
No
response.
Let's sit down over a romantic dinner and let's really pound
Valentine's
this
is
out.
Wednesday.
Dude, you got 2 days. Figure
I'll
something
invite him
out.
out. I'll invite
Figure
him
it
out.
out.
How would it go
Should I
if
do
you
that right? I'll do that right now.
would you tell Mallory that she got bumped for Bush?
100%. 100%. Yes. Look, not only am I doing it for me because I enjoy it, I'm doing it for you. I'm doing it for all of you.
Bronco Nation.
I'm doing it for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a
on.
bummer.
Leave us a comment. Does Brandon have a shot with Bush Hamdan?
He's not.
Like a side piece. I mean, nothing like.
Yeah. We're the same age.
Yeah.
I'm a little older. I'm 2 years older. If that's what he's at.
Man. All right.
If that's what, like.
It sucks. That's
All right. Should we shift gears?
It's just dumb that we're talking about it
It
again.
is. It's dumb.
You know, if you're recruiting, before we shift gears, you have to understand if you're a college player, it's like you will not have the same either head coach or
Don't even think
coordinator
about it.
that you're working with for more than a year. Assume you're
Anywhere.
going to lose this guy after a year.
go where
Just
you
assume it.
Yep. Go where you like to school and you think you
Yep.
can play. That's it. Period.
Don't worry about
Except
it.
Don't even think
Spencer
about the coach.
Danielson. He's been around a while.
Okay,
not-
he's leaving.
not-
We're going to
he's
have
head
this
coach.
conversation next week about SD being gone for whatever reason. It's like nothing surprises me anymore. It's so stupid.
That's right. When I saw that tweet, so I was out of town and I saw someone's tweet. It didn't say anything about. It was someone tweeted like, "Who's gonna be replaced Bush?" And I was like, "What?" And my first thought was NFL job. I didn't even think that
yeah.
it would, So I was like,
That makes sense.
Seahawks,
It's
because they
close.
hired like. So I'm thinking like, who was it? And it was like, and I saw Kentucky, and I was just like, what? Kentucky.
Maybe he's.
And I didn't realize they paid so much for their OC, but
Maybe he's a big basketball guy, and there's a little bit of.
yeah, him and Cal.
You got good weather. You're making $1 billion.
Good weather, Kentucky. Yeah.
Can you imagine a
Exactly
good-looking
weather.
man like Bush
Oh,
Hamdan in
gosh.
Kentucky?
Let's move
Dude, the
on.
market that's there for a good looking guy.
Yeah, dude. I played into it.
You better bring
Oh,
a big
man.
old stick.
Yeah.
Fight him off. All right, let's shift gears.
That's right.
I was gonna say on a more positive.
No,
It's not a more
no, Mark,
positive
go.
note.
Go, Mark.
Basketball-
Say whatever
Tell
you
us
want.
how crappy
Say-
Boise
yeah,
State
say how bad
basketball
we are.
is, Mark.
What are you talking
Go.
about?
Yeah,
Yeah,
go.
just lay it on us.
Now's
I'm
the
not
chance.
saying I haven't said anything that they're
Okay.
crappy. I'll say this.
You've thought
Let's
it.
get it started. Yes, we've all thought it. Anyone that's watched the games thought it. But no, I didn't see the Saturday game. But I will say this on a positive note, and then we can get into the nitty gritty.
Whoa.
They are exactly when we talked a couple weeks ago
They are
about
who you
Who we
thought they
thought were
were.
crowd their ass, dude.
we
Crowd.
let them off the hook. They're at even. They're at even, right? They've
Because
lost
they were
two
two
at
up.
home.
They were 2 up. And then
They've lost 2 at home.
Okay.
And they've picked off 2 big road games
Okay.
on the road. So as far as the win-loss record goes, in conference, they're quote unquote even. But I don't like the direction.
What if they would have
took
lost
us.
like by 2 on each game?
You feel better. It's a loss, but you feel better about they were not competitive.
You know what was odd about those 2 games? We were playing some of our best basketball going in to Colorado State. You know, we came off New Mexico. We destroyed Air Force. We trounced them.
Maybe that was a problem. It wasn't close.
Maybe because we only win by a couple every game, no matter what. But the problem, or what was so surprising to me, was the articles after that Air Force game were, I really love where we're at. We're firing on all cylinders. We got everybody involved. Everybody's playing well. Deggy's doing awesome. Rice is back. Abo showing up in the second half. I mean, Stanley's already good. Cam's getting his shoulder better. I mean, all that stuff. And then,
boom.
2-game skid.
Just
In the toilet.
And not good play, not consistent play, low shooting,
And high shooting on the other end.
yeah,
On the other team.
It was brutal.
I didn't, full disclosure, I did not see the Utah State game. I was out of town, saw the stats. I did see every minute of the Colorado State game. And it was just Colorado State.
They're very similar.
They got easy buckets all night long.
Yeah.
And that's why they shot 52%. And we struggled to get good looks. And we didn't shoot well. And sounds like the other game was similar. So they got to go back to the drawing board a little bit. But like I said, they get the bye. We've heard that, right? They get the bye, so they don't play again until Saturday.
Great timing for a bye.
They have 7 games left.
1 week earlier.
And I'm going to go back to, like, we've talked about this, and I know that there's the schedule, but they have almost zero room. I tried to do some research, but they have almost zero room for error.
Can you show that paper to everybody?
Mark has notes. What does try to do research mean, Mark?
So I tried to go back, and Dayton will probably find this. Dayton, if you're listening,
where you at?
Dude, is he the guy that did the stats?
Dude, yeah,
I
Dayton's
like
good.
that
He's
guy.
an accountant guy, dude.
Yeah, I like that
He's
guy.
a numbers guy. I would like to know how many mid-majors ever, or let's go since 2000, have made an at-large bid with 11 losses or more. I don't know if it's ever happened.
Because the one you were talking about on Twitter was 10 losses, right?
They were 10 losses, and their 11th loss was in the tournament. So,
but you have to combine that with quad 1 wins.
I know.
To that.
So Boise State, their saving grace might be if they end up with 11 losses. Well, look, they had a really tough schedule.
Like 6 quad 1 losses.
Yeah, so that might be it. But I'm not sure it's ever happened. I still don't think that the Mountain West is getting 6 teams in. I doubt we're getting 5. We're going to keep beating each other up. All these teams keep playing each other.
Hot take.
And I think we're going to get 4 teams in. And I'm not, we have more losses. We have to go 6-1 down the stretch.
We do. It put us in a tough spot.
We're in a really tough spot because you can't.
New Mexico
And Nevada at home and at San Diego State. And that's not even talking about
we can
Wyoming on the road.
We can lose San Diego State.
Then you got to win the other ones.
We got to win them all out.
That's tough, man.
It's tough. It's
what
very
about
tough.
this team has told you we're going to win 6 out of 7?
But the thing is, we could do it.
Well,
we could lose all of them. We could win all of them.
Yeah, you just don't know.
That's about the team.
So I get if we have 11 losses going into Selection Sunday, that's not maybe we get in because of the schedule. That's not a position we want to be in.
We're at 16 wins right now.
We're 14-8. We're 14-8. Is it 16-8?
feels right.
I thought we were 16.
I think we have 8
So
losses.
they have 2 NAIA whatever, which don't count for anything, right? So the committee does not look at non-Division I games, by the way. So if we're 16-8, they look at 14.
We are 16-8, 7-4 in conference.
Okay, so we're 14-8 according to the committee.
Okay, so we lose San Diego State. We're
probably
9. We have
That's
9
9
losses,
yeah.
and then we're going to lose in the Mountain West Championship.
Because we almost always do.
Well, yeah,
Right?
I mean it's
I mean,
tough.
most
It's going to be tough.
it's gonna be tough.
It's going to be tough to go through.
That's 11.
That's 10.
No, that's 10. That's 10. That's 10. That's safe. I think that would be safe.
And the thing about it is that has as good a probability as happening as either end of that. Winning them all, losing them all.
I don't
right?
think we're winning them all. That does not have a good.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, okay, you're right. We're not going to win them all. I think that's totally fine to say.
Okay.
But this team could win a game that you do not expect it to happen, right? Like a San Diego State on the road, because we do decent against them. But we have incredibly difficult teams at home. New Mexico being one of them.
Yeah.
And beating that team twice is tough. But if we get a bye into the Mountain West Championship, in the Mountain West tournament, if we do what we do and get 6 wins and we get a bye into the tournament and we get lucky and we eke out a win in the quarterfinals, we're in.
If we tell me that. So if we
So
go
if
5
we
and
go
2 or
6 and 1,
yeah, we're in.
If we go 6-1 and we get a bye in the and we get
yeah,
one
we're in.
win and we're in, no matter what,
Yeah, I
with a
agree.
low seed.
I agree.
With a decently low seed.
Yeah, we're in.
Okay.
But if we lose to New Mexico at home,
Tell
or
me-
Wyoming on the road and San Diego State, that's where it gets really dicey.
Yeah, sure. Tell me how you feel, or just lay out because you have a script. What
It's
you're
right
going
there.
to say? No,
Yep.
not even that
Oh.
script. Lay out your script that you're going to tell me if we lose 2.
Well, why don't
Quick
you
ones.
lay it out? You know
No,
what
he's
gonna
the
say.
one. Oh, okay. I'll tell you.
Fine. You know what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I do.
It involves super team.
Involves.
Oh, the super team.
No, just go. Just say it.
No,
just give me.
I think that. I mean, it's hard to. I mean,
What is your text you're ready to
it's
fire off?
2020. So it's always easier to look back, right?
Okay.
That we scheduled too tough in the preseason.
Okay.
Because
It doesn't allow for enough
it
losses
doesn't allow
later.
for enough
When-
losses
when
in
do
a
you
really,
make-
really, really tough league.
When do you make the schedule?
The year before, they do make it like going into this year, not unlike football.
So we shouldn't have scheduled Clemson and Washington State. No, Washington
Tech?
State was already on there.
no, but no,
Washington
and I'm
State
not
was a
going to
tough
play.
loss.
It's, I don't know. I mean, so
Are you?
I
You're
think
not?
Leon Rice. I think so. Leon Rice himself, not me, not you, not BJ, not no one. Leon Rice called his team a super team. Okay,
And you're going to hold him to that.
you better believe it, dude. half a hundred, super team. Okay, there's
One
two
and the same?
that are potentially living in infamy, and I hope we don't have to pull that out. Okay, I think he's scheduled accordingly, but I think he did not. Utah State didn't return a single point from last year.
Well, yeah,
so
so-
I think that it's not his fault. They underestimated the Mount West, and he overestimated his team.
Okay.
He did, and I want to talk about that, the super team, here in a minute.
You thought he was going to, or you think that he thought he was just going to clean house in the
I
Mountain
don't think he
West.
thought he was going to win the Mount West for sure, but I don't think there's any way that if he would have known the Mount West was going to be this strong this
You
year,
changed the schedule.
He would have changed the schedule. I guarantee it.
Okay.
Because what's happening is you're not getting in, certainly not getting in with 12 losses, and 11 is going to be really tough. But I think he underestimated the conference, and he overestimated slightly his team.
Colorado State, Utah State.
Utah
I think
State was supposed to be
Nevada.
nobody, and
UNLV
Colorado State
beat
was
us.
supposed to be middle of the road, and they were like a top 25 team
Yeah.
for a while. I mean,
They're
the
top-
Mount West is great. So, it's not Leon's fault. It was just a miscount. We'll see what happens. If we get in, that's the end of the game. I don't even think we have to win a game. We want to win a game in the NCAA tournament, but getting in is a massive achievement, 3 years in a row. But at this point, we're not in right now.
Okay.
I mean, we're not assured to be in.
What does winning an NCAA game do for Leon for you?
It cements him as, I think everyone widely considers him the best Boise State coach just because of his longevity, but he is cemented like Leon, Stu Morrill just got the court at Utah State. His name will be on the court.
Yeah,
It might be either way, but if he wins that cements he will go down as the best Boise State basketball coach ever, and the court will be named after him.
yeah. You talk about the difference between football and basketball. Coaches sticking around. I mean, Leon Rice.
Yeah,
how
dude,
many years
14
has he been here?
years or something.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, I mean, it's
And-
Bobby Dye and
Yeah.
him have been basically your two best, and this would cement him as the greatest for sure. And he's probably already there. He's got the most wins.
And he's taken our
that's his last
program to
piece.
another level.
Yeah, and there's fan inch. I'm not bagging on the pro.
Up.
I'm not bagging on the pro. I love
not
Boise State
currently.
more as much as anybody.
Not
I
currently.
do, but I'm going to be critical when I see things to criticize. I'm going to, we'll see.
Yeah,
but
don't say super team if it's not.
I wanna
super
talk about the
Okay,
super
but
team.
come on.
He
Come on,
He
dude.
brought it on himself, just like frickin' Plow said. I ain't looking at scoreboard until we score half 100, and he scored it. Never. we
Yeah,
still
but
haven't
Plow
scored
said.
it.
How many times did Plow say that?
Once.
That was a
It was a
bad move,
bad
dude. That was a
mistake.
bad
Don't
move.
say it.
It is. You just set yourself.
Say it
up
when you're
for-
doing well.
You set it yourself up for.
Yeah, but
this.
Leon's been around, so you got to give him a little bit more since he's been here for 13 years.
Sure, I'm not
coming
going to
into the year.
I'm not bagging on Leon. I'm not saying that he needs to be fired. He overestimated his team. Period. Plain and simple.
Were
And
there
that's
things
what I
that
want to talk to you
He
about.
could have gotten. I mean, I'm just thinking the Cam Martin shoulder thing. That's a little thing.
Yeah, that's going to happen.
Was that other
things happen.
Were there
But
other things that like
Stanley played better than I think
That's
anybody.
So that's what I want to go over.
I don't
right now.
think
Okay,
Oh.
let's see your
Okay.
let's see his notes.
Hey,
Look how full that page is.
how many times does Mark come with
This
notes?
is the only
No,
time.
Bull.
This
No,
is
I
the
brought-
only time you
no.
came with notes.
Check tape. I brought
You
notes.
check the tape.
Okay. I did this.
Literally
I
the
did this.
only
I want
time.
to do this. I want you guys to do this. Okay.
Okay, I'm
Little
ready.
game here. Okay.
Okay, I'm ready.
The super team.
Rip,
Okay, so-
Where's
Where's the music, man?
Oh, I
Okay.
get music. I'm
No,
happy.
it's okay. So pause. Okay, so I'm going to name the players that play, and you're going to go positive, negative, or equal from what you or was widely expected of this player for this season.
prior
Did
to
they
the season.
contribute more or less?
More or less than what you thought they would.
Okay.
Or really maybe what the coaching
Net
staff thought
positive
they
or
would.
net negative?
Yeah.
So-
not like, okay, so for example, Roddy. I'm going to say negative because I think I expected more out of Roddy.
Okay.
Okay? Does that make sense?
Yes.
And someone will be okay. So
Okay.
I'm going to go down the list.
Do we each get our own time to answer?
Just go negative, positive, whatever.
Okay, go.
Okay. I need a pen. Okay, whatever. Okay. Roddy.
Yeah, I would say negative.
Okay, Matt. From what you expected from him this year.
The thing is, I didn't have any expectations.
Dude, he's
so
he's
Roddy
Big
came
West.
on late. So for me, it's a plus because he started out slow.
Big
but I didn't
West.
have any
No, from the
Player of the
beginning
year.
of the season, though.
I don't
Big
know.
West
I didn't have
freshman of the
any
year.
expectations.
He was the Big West freshman of the year.
16
he
points a
scored
game.
16 points a game, dude. Okay.
Okay,
That's a negative.
negative. Sorry,
But
I got it
okay,
wrong.
Max.
Okay, ask Matt
And this
first.
isn't how's playing right now. This is for the year overall.
Negative.
So far.
Max
Max
negative.
negative on the year,
definitely
right? Okay.
negative.
Buzo.
I hope Max listens to
Positive.
this.
Positive, better
Totally.
than you expected.
Yes.
Dude,
Okay. I had a neutral for that.
I want
but-
Max Rice to hear that I said negative, so he puts up 30 points.
There you
a
go.
game.
Negative,
Big
negative,
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 Max.
negative.
Can I talk about Buzo?
Yeah.
He's one of the he's borderline Mountain West first team this year. Borderline.
Okay.
Because he's shooting almost before these 2 games.
He hadn't showed up the last 2 games, but yeah. Okay.
Better. Yeah.
So you think
He's
okay.
been an integral part of a lot of the wins.
He has. I went neutral because I expected a little bit of a jump from last year, and I think that's what he's given us. But what do you think?
Yeah.
Neutral. Or okay. Deggy,
Yeah.
from what you expected.
Either neutral, probably neutral.
Neutral.
Yeah.
That's tough because he's good. I mean,
He's good.
But
Is he doing better than you expected?
same?
Okay.
Yeah.
Omar.
better.
I did positive.
Big
Yep.
positive.
100%
Okay.
positive.
Cam.
Negative.
Negative.
Yeah.
And that's a shoulder injury. That's not, RJ Keene.
Also, Cam Martin.
The more
don't shoot
athlete.
three-pointers.
Hold on. RJ Keene, according to the
He's
coaches.
being intentional.
according to
He's
the
being
coaches-
intentional about
has,
this.
Brandon has one love interest we know of for sure. Bush
Bush.
Hamdan.
I've asked.
RJ Keene is number 2.
I've
on your
asked
list.
for some RJ. I've
So
asked for
RJ,
it. I've
according-
asked for
so
it.
this is where they came up with the super team. RJ was described to us from the coaching staff as a more athletic Justinian Jessup.
I can see that.
Oh, you can.
I can see it.
When?
He
warm-ups?
was.
What are you talking about? He doesn't even get off the
Like-
bench.
like
I
walking
saw-
from
Justinian
the
Jessup
locker
started
room.
as a freshman, dude.
No, when he comes out,
Well, we
like,
weren't
in the
that
warm-ups.
good with Justinian Jessup on, so don't give me that.
Don't
okay?
even tell me he can't
Look.
even clean Jessup's shoes right
he
now.
looks good.
No,
He's a
dude.
negative, okay?
I like my
expected
chances.
We
Isn't that what
expected
Tiger said?
we expected
I feel
RJ to
good.
play minutes. He's not playing.
Your,
It's a
your,
negative.
your heart
Okay?
is getting in the way.
I didn't know. I didn't even know RJ Keene before until they started.
Just
Yeah,
okay. So Jace
negative.
Whiting negative. I'm going
I'd say
neutral.
negative, dude. He is.
I saw what he had last year.
Look
This
at
is
the
who he
freaking
is.
turnovers
This is who
they've
he is.
had at guard
Okay, negative.
all
That's
season.
fine. I'm going neutral, but I didn't
Jace
expect much
would be
from
more
him.
of an offensive threat.
So negative.
He's not.
Kobe.
Oh, dang it.
You don't see much of Kobe.
You're making-
I know.
Last 2 games.
I'm
Last 3
going.
games.
I'm going neutral on
losses.
Kobe. I'm going neutral on Kobe because that's what Kobe is. 3 years, same role, same thing. Meadow.
Oh, positive.
You think he's more than what you were expecting for this
Yeah,
year?
I didn't think he'd play
Okay.
that much at all.
Okay.
When you look at Meadow, you think like,
Baller,
Yeah, but that's
dude.
not.
he's in the chemistry lab or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. So you.
I think positive.
I went from
he's a
neutral to
freshman.
negative. Yeah, he was highly touted. He played really well in that Canadian tournament.
No,
which was a
but
big
but
boom.
don't say
okay.
that because it takes a little bit to
As a freshman,
adjust. And
yeah.
he was the rotating 7 in the
He's in,
first
yeah.
like
So you're
12
gonna
or
give him a
15
positive.
games. And,
Okay.
and RJ and all those guys weren't.
Okay, so the only positive that I gave was Omar. You went Meadow as well. That's the only of the super team. Those are the only ones that are outperforming, and there's definitely more negative. So
It's
just-
a flawed question
they-
because Deggy is awesome.
Yes.
Okay. So it's almost like you're discounting Deggy on that one.
I'm not discounting. I'm
I
saying
know that.
he's giving us what we expected Deggy to give us.
I think the problem
a lot
is
of guys are not.
There's too many games when these guys aren't showing up. Deggy or Max, right?
Yeah.
Deggy shows
and
up
Agbo.
basically every game.
Well,
you can't
he's
take
there.
Deggy that.
Most games he's been fine.
Yeah.
He's
Almost
not the
every game.
problem.
He's not the problem at all. Rice?
Rice has
Yes,
been a
is the
problem.
He is a
He
big
won
problem.
a game, though. He won the New Mexico
He won
game.
the New Mexico
Without
game.
him, we don't win that game.
Single-handedly. Correct.
But Agbo, he didn't show up this week. He didn't show up.
Nobody did. Yeah.
It's tough, man.
Yeah.
I love the team. I hope we get there.
That was a tough week. That was a very tough week. And those are the two, playing them on the road. They were tough. Two of the tougher teams, obviously, in the league. On the road, it was a really difficult gut check week, for sure. But anything could happen. I mean, we could sit here and be like, wow, we lost 3 of 7.
Yeah.
We've
We
lost
lost
4
6
of 8.
of 7.
We've lost 4 of 8.
And there's no shot of
Yeah,
winning a game.
we could come out and we could say that, or we could very well say, oh, it happened like we wanted it.
Yep.
I mean, anything could happen with this team, and that's the hard part about it. But I will be there on Saturday.
I'll be there, I think.
It is, I love
trying to get some
5:30,
tickets.
Fresno State.
out of all of it, though, the last 3 years have been an incredible watch at the stadium. I'm going to be completely honest. I've loved it. Like, you win the games you're supposed to win there. They have a great record at home, 23-2 or whatever that is.
The
Last 2
Utah
years.
State game, though.
Yeah, I went to that game. That game sucked. Yeah.
Should've won it.
Well,
And you
but
were
there
no
was
lead.
23 other games that we've played there that have gone really well, that I've really enjoyed. And some of my more favorite BSU experiences have been at the BSU basketball stadium in the last 3 years. So I enjoy that. It's just been a fun team. I still like the team. I did not like the plow offense. So I mean, completely different there. It's like, I still like it. If they make it, I'm super happy. If they don't, I'm going to be super bummed. But I'm still grateful that where we're at is where we're at. That's kind of my take.
It's a
on the
good
BSU
perspective.
basketball.
That's healthy.
Yeah, and I'm not a healthy individual.
No,
not
I'm
at all.
traditionally
No.
not healthy at all.
Mentally, physically.
No, spiritually, none of that is healthy about it. And so that's why I'm super proud of where I'm at.
Yeah, I think what's great about the basketball program is the fact that who's not
By the
typically
way,
a
we're matching, by the way.
Yeah, we got maroon thing going on. You've become a big fan.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's cool about having Leon Rice be there for so many years is there's some familiarity there.
Yeah.
Right? Like, obviously it's a different team every year, but it's been something that has been built up year over year, and it's exciting.
Yeah.
I've got season tickets. You have them. It's a fun
There was 3,000 to 6,000 people that would show up for
Yeah.
years,
Yep.
for decades.
Yep. The big time
biggest
improvement.
games.
Yeah.
And Leon Rice is an incredibly nice guy. He's a really nice guy. If you've met him, he's only been positive.
You went to Dave Southern's wedding.
He went to Dave Southern's wedding. He's super, super nice. Not every coach is, but he is. And so he's a great fit in the community. And so if you back up a little bit and you look at it from that perspective, which is not typical of me to do or a fan to do, it's like, wow, overall, that's incredible. He should be celebrated at the end of his career. I hope he finishes it out here. I hope he has a successful time. I have no problem naming the court or whatever that is. But anyway, yeah, I've had a great time in an
Anticipated?
unexpected form of entertainment that I did not anticipate having the last 4 or 5 years.
Which makes it unanticipated. You didn't
I didn't
anticipate
anticipate it.
Yeah. And it surprised
That
you.
was a positive, according to my expectations. I was expecting a negative.
Mark, anything else on your sheet over there? I mean,
We went through Bush. We went. No, that was. I hit. We can talk about the 2 QB systems tomorrow.
that's what you want.
There needs to be
You
a
still
book
wanna
written
talk about that.
There needs to be a book written about last
There
year.
needs to
Just
be
like
some
a tell-all
accountability.
book.
When it was
of the football
happening,
season.
were we like in a car spinning? Like,
Dude, hold
what's
on.
happening? Like right now,
I
I
want to
have
get
no
Bush
idea.
on the show to talk about
Dude.
that. I would love. It
our-
won't happen.
We had our starting quarterback play one play, and he handed it off and left.
no,
Yeah,
no, no, no,
that
no,
makes
no.
sense.
We had the Talon as our starter.
One
He
play.
came in for one play.
One play. Hand off.
Like
Hand off. He didn't play
unreal.
like at all that game too.
Hey, what do you say about Talon Green? We're gonna run to win. Okay.
Okay. All right. Can we talk about the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
We came back on the air because I forgot.
So this is the first time,
On
first ever.
I really want to talk about this
the
because
live airwaves.
I'm 100% on board with this. I want to ask you guys a couple questions.
okay.
No, I don't have a medical degree.
You're familiar with who Taylor Swift is and who she's dating?
Yeah.
Can I just talk about it?
They showed her 12 times last
Okay.
Not 13?
12.
I want to talk about it. I want to talk about it. They hooked up this year.
Yeah.
Mid-season?
Well, we don't know when they first hooked up.
Okay, tell me when they first hooked up.
Started dating, you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
Tell me when.
This year.
Okay.
Sometime.
Mid-season?
It wasn't before
Why?
the season.
Why? Where were they
She
that they
likes
could have
Pfizer.
time?
She likes Pfizer.
Okay, no,
Since
but
at least
honest question.
September.
Honest question. He's
I
at
know where you're
football
going.
camp.
I'm not going there with you.
He's
Minor.
at football camp.
I'm not
He's
going
at
there
practice
with
every.
you.
Come
Listen,
with
let me
us,
tell it.
Mark.
Let me tell it to you.
You too?
Can I just lay this out?
It's a
Everyone,
conspiracy.
get your tinfoil
Can I
hats
lay
out
this
right
out?
now.
Can I lay this out?
Lay it out.
Earth is flat.
Okay.
Go.
Kelsey's at football camp, allegedly,
They all need.
and he's practicing every day. He's in Kansas City, and then he's traveling on the bye weeks, or excuse me, the away weeks with the team. Okay, where in that time frame does he have a time to go hang out at parties with Taylor Swift? Okay, let's say he does a couple times, and then they get together. Well, then let's say however that worked out, it worked out.
2023. Okay.
Okay, it worked out. So Taylor starts coming, and there's this huge wave of whatever it is, football fans, Swiftie fans, whatever it is. And then the NFL comes out and states the following. Let me grab it. I have it right here. Let me give you some NFL-derived numbers regarding Taylor Swift. Matt, what are you looking at?
The timeline.
They met in end of July
So he
at a concert. He gave her his number on a bracelet.
So he went to the Eras tour in July, and then on the podcast he was shooting a shot basically
On the podcast.
on the
he did.
podcast.
Okay.
in July.
All right.
What's
Well,
the friendship bracelet have to do with
can
it?
I just say this?
He made a friendship bracelet.
The NFL estimated $331 million the NFL has made since this Kelsey Swift relationship went public, right?
Okay.
Okay,
Like
let
on
me
his
keep going.
just on whatever. On
Just
everything.
whatever it is, increased whatever.
Okay.
Travis Kelce jersey sales spiked 400%.
Yeah,
Overnight.
yeah.
We
Okay.
all know that.
Yeah.
Okay. They had a huge surge in viewership. And let's go over some of those
Yeah,
numbers.
they did.
Yeah, massive jump of women, okay? The Chiefs AFC Championship game against the Baltimore Ravens averaged 55.5 million viewers,
Okay.
okay? And then if you go to the Super Bowl, and that was the most watched AFC Championship game ever by a 17% increase over the prior year,
17%. Okay.
which is a huge increase on big numbers,
It is,
okay?
no doubt.
This year's Super Bowl, most expensive to attend ever, with the average ticket price going for $10,752, 70% more than last year. Okay, if you're Taylor Swift,
Yeah.
it costs roughly $7 million for a 30-second ad at the Super Bowl. Okay, she was shown 12 times.
Okay. Yep.
How much time is that?
Yeah, it's a couple seconds each, probably 30 seconds.
Okay,
total.
let's say it's $7 million worth of exposure for free, right?
Okay.
How much do you believe the NFL had something to do with the Chiefs making it to the Super Bowl?
None. I'm not getting on
You're
this
not
boat with
buying
you,
into
Minor.
the line at all?
I'm not. No, I don't think. No, I do not think that they fixed games. I don't believe that.
Why? Tell me why.
Because there's too many people that would have to know that somehow it would leak.
What is the NFL's obligation to not fix games?
Obligation?
Are they legally required to not
No, but
do
there's
anything? So
But
they're
how
an
many people have leaked? Like legit players, coaches.
Okay, but what if the people that are in charge get so much money because of the increase? Right? The NFL obviously has a massive incentive to get Taylor to the Super Bowl.
Sure.
Yeah.
A massive incentive.
So
and there's no legal requirement
the
for
Bills
them.
kicker-
Can I talk?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
The Super Bowl isn't the Super Bowl if she doesn't make it there.
I'm just saying the NFL's incentivized to get him there. I'm just saying the NFL is incentivized to get him there. Okay? They don't have a legal requirement, in my opinion. I don't know. They don't have a legal requirement to be like, well, we have to keep it fair for everybody. They're an entertainment league, right? It's just like the NBA.
Or
so
WWE.
Okay, it could be
Did it
similar. I'm just saying, like basketball, right? And the NBA players that came out and said this, they're like, you have to be winning in some of these games by 16 to win by 1.
Yeah.
Because they even it up so much.
Yeah,
They want
yeah.
to make it exciting.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, I'm just not saying it's too far-fetched to say, especially in that Bills-Chiefs game,
Okay.
that there was some, hey, not called holding penalties, or maybe some things that help keep the drive going, or
It's happened
whatever
before.
it was. It's like, get them to the Super Bowl. That's all that matters. Whatever happens after that happens. Like, I don't think the refs played a huge role in the Super Bowl, but there was certainly some stuff you could have called either way. I'm just saying, like, why wouldn't the NFL do that? Why wouldn't they want to make $350 million more? Why wouldn't the owners come together and be like, look, you may not win, but you're going to get $10 million more, $15 million more. The value of your franchise is going to go up by $1 billion, whatever that amount is. It's like our TV contract with these numbers, with this bump in numbers, is huge right now.
Yeah, I see that.
Why Kelsey? Why a tight end on the
why
Chiefs?
Kelsey,
Why?
dude? That's the question
Why?
everyone's
Yeah.
asking. Why freaking Kelsey?
That's what I'm
dude?
saying. Like, why Kelsey, a tight end, the best wide receiver on the Chiefs team? You know, why isn't it some defensive back or like random linebacker? Or
Well,
like,
why is it?
whatever?
Why do girls go? Girls always are going for the quarterback or the
Go for the quarterback then, dude. Go pick
He's
out a
taken.
quarterback on. No, that's what I'm saying. Find me a quarterback that's not taken.
right. No, I get
Then
that.
that's who she would have gone for. If the quarter on the best team, she would have gone for. I don't trust anybody anymore.
Yeah.
I don't.
Dude, COVID
so I
really
can
screwed
fall,
you up,
I
man.
can fall for
COVID really
anybody.
Pfizer,
screwed you
dude.
up.
Talk about
Pfizer,
COVID.
right?
Kelsey and
there's
Pfizer.
the
I
other
know
side
it.
that people are like, oh, all this negative publicity that Swift was getting for this private jets, whatever that is, went away when the NFL thing came out. Which those are sidelines.
I'll give you a reason why they wouldn't do it. I totally see what you're saying. All numbers were up. Super Bowl was 10% plus up. I get it. The reason you don't do that is, one, you're already the number one show in America. You're already making tons of money, and if you do
Why not
this,
make more?
I get that. But if you do this and you get caught,
Then
What
what?
happens?
the empire could crumble.
No. It's too big. It's too big.
Look
If
at
it literally came out that they were fixing games, the NFL was
Okay.
fixing games, that wouldn't be a negative
Who's
problem.
going to say, whoever says they're dead, right, already. So they, I'm
going
just
mob
saying,
hits,
Mob
dude?
yes,
What are you
easy,
talking-
easy.
Dude.
Why don't you
Yeah.
just pay off whoever wants to come out?
Careful what you say, Mark.
I'm just saying, whoever comes out,
Man.
You'll get
they will push it onto some lower level guy, and he'll take the fall for it.
So-
I'm just saying, the guys that are making all the money have no problem making more money.
I don't disagree. I don't believe that happened, but I think that it would be easy to manipulate the referees to not call certain things because that's a small group.
Okay,
That's a small
so
group.
let's
Not
say
the
those-
whole organization, not every team, but the referees.
Let's say
But I don't know if I don't remember seeing egregious non-calls and stuff.
the AFC champion,
affected.
the Bills Chiefs game. I think I was like,
You think it was fixed?
I think, hey, you could keep a drive going.
Yeah, you can.
You can stop a drive.
That would be if you were to convince me. The only way would be that they got to the referees.
Okay.
That would be my
What-
only
Which
way
has
that they would
happened
do
before. I mean,
that. By a league, by a sports
well,
league.
okay, not by the league, but
I mean, the
in
NBA,
the NBA.
certainly keeps their start.
Okay, but what if
certainly
the
do
NFL
treat
But the
did
their
whole
this.
like
players
gambling
differently.
thing, you know, with the refs throwing
Yeah,
games
yeah.
in the
But that
NBA?
wasn't the
But what if you're Roger Goodell or whoever comes up with it, and you're like, if you're Roger Goodell, you're like, hey, I'm gonna go buy a painting. I want to buy a ticket to the Taylor Swift tour, and that's code for get her to the Super Bowl, and then he doesn't worry about it anymore. The guys on the ground are going to the referee saying, hey, I'm gonna put $2 million into this account that you can access if, this stuff happens, right? And then they're like, what's the legal requirement? They're just following their employer. It's not a legal
I
ethical
see what you're
thing.
saying. They weren't going to go to. I don't know. I would
There's-
like to believe.
There's a percentage chance that it happened.
Sure.
Okay.
I don't
I
think.
win.
I think it's less than. I do not think it happened.
Okay.
And
Is it a
I heard
40% chance?
No. I think it's a 10 to 15% chance that
You don't know,
I will let
dude.
you
You
know. But you
don't
can't
know.
argue with the numbers that it was a big boon for everybody involved.
I just think when the incentive is there,
But why can't? Yeah.
when the incentive is there, it's rare that they don't take it.
Yeah, I heard that this. My wife was actually telling me that one of her friends believes that it was all set up, and I was like laughing at her. But
No.
I just know.
Do you think it happened? Do you? What are you?
Well, I think the relationship is not.
I don't
genuine.
think it's 100% genuine.
I think there's so many political motives behind it. I think there's monetary incentives behind it.
I agree with that. I don't think it's a legitimate relationship.
And it doesn't matter. I mean, this is just another. If they break up, that's what Taylor Swift does.
Yeah,
she breaks up with people and makes
she
money
writes a
off
song.
of it.
Yeah, it's.
I think Taylor Swift is one of the more impressive people on this earth, and I think that a person that can affect the national GDP in a year, where her tour like made a blip in this massive graph,
crazy.
And so she's done amazing things. I don't get it. I don't know it, but every single time I'm laughed off, like I laugh at a statement that somebody makes or a conspiracy theory, it turns out to be a spoiler alert that guess what? That's what freaking happened.
You know what?
And so
she's obviously good at the money-making game,
really
and
good.
marketing and
really
capitalizing on like the timing stuff. This is another thing that falls in line with that.
Just look at the amount of publicity she's gotten on the Super Bowl, in the AFC Championship, every freaking game. And not only that, the amount of times that people post on social media about her and the amount of times that they play a Taylor Swift song at another team's venue and they're all tagged in it, and all of the stuff she's getting, that's a massive amount of exposure. It's like,
I don't disagree with any of that at all. I don't think there's any way they're together to start of next year.
I just think it's a 55% chance it happened.
Oh.
I just think it's more likely than not.
The part that I struggle with is the players.
There's no way. There's
how
no
much
way
work they put into playing.
They didn't. There's
I
no
don't
way that the
think
players.
they're going to put in that much work for like wrestling. I would say. I think NFL is separate from.
I don't think
the players were. If it happened, the players were not.
Players
involved.
didn't know. I mean, they could have a hunch. I mean, like we all have a hunch. They do, because the NBA players say the exact same freaking thing.
Yeah.
They're like, you can't win by 20 in a finals game.
Yeah.
You can't. It's impossible. You'll never do it. Okay. You're going to win by 5 or 3. You're going to free throw it out. You have to be up by 20 to win by 1. They've said that. They all know it. It's an entertainment league.
It is.
And I'm just saying, I just don't know.
It just hasn't boiled down. Yeah. And I think we've all accepted that. And LeBron gets the call, whatever. They want the stars in there. And it's massive.
Free throws the Lakers shoot versus everybody else.
Yeah, it's a massive difference when you have LeBron in the finals versus. I get that. We haven't seen it in football yet, though, to that extent. Until this.
I just think it's
good at hiding it, Mark.
I think it's easier than you think.
So Tom Brady, was that a fabrication?
I don't know that a year on year it matters who wins the NFL, the Super Bowl most of the time. I don't know that it matters. Year in and year out. I think anybody can win, and they'll have a little bump here and a little, dip there and a little bump here. But this year had a massive jump, right? And I just think it's easier than you think to keep a drive going or end a drive.
Yeah, that's true.
It doesn't take much.
By officials, you're saying.
Big deal. By officials, by not calling or by calling stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, a hold. I mean, I last night I was like, oh, that's a hold.
If you're let's say if you're the San Francisco 49ers, you can't do anything to their receivers. Like they're going to start calling that early, but on the other side of the field, you call any touch on a San Francisco, it's like you can
Interesting.
Fill in the blank on your own.
What is everyone's thought? Is Brandon crazy? Am I crazy? What? I don't know.
Matt, your percentage thought on it?
On if it, I agree. There's so much at stake. 20%.
20%.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody's wrong. Nobody's right.
There's just a big part of me that doesn't want.
I don't want to believe it. It's the same thing.
But I'm not a big NFL guy. I don't really.
Yeah, I don't really care.
I watch it.
Either.
I don't like.
You don't want to believe that
from the Super Bowl was that I was just kind of more worn down and annoyed a little bit with the whole Taylor Swift thing. I was just like, this is stupid.
Was your wife? Legitimately,
she didn't get into it.
My wife did.
My wife was more into it.
Yeah, no, totally. No, it's true,
there were girls at the parties I went to. I went to 2 parties, by the way.
I heard that.
Yeah, I'm big.
What?
Yeah, dude.
I went to my parents' house, dude. To 2 parties.
Invite me. I could go to 3.
He goes by quarter.
But there's girls glued to it. They're not like sitting off playing on their phones. They're watching.
Different.
Like,
that's crazy.
It's wild.
That's interesting.
But I like Taylor Swift music. I normally am a fan of her, but I got a little worn down.
Oh,
Just a
yeah.
little annoyed.
Yeah, me too.
Too much.
Yeah,
Too much.
it was like
the
it
dose
was fine. It was
too
just like,
heavy.
yeah, whatever. But yeah,
I think
of
it's
course,
interesting.
I don't know. According to some people, you hate. I don't know. That got all political and stuff. She hasn't even said it.
No, she
Anything-
hasn't done anything wrong. No,
No.
not at all. It's the greedy NFL guys. But legitimately for her, she got a ton of of exposure
okay,
on
last
a
thing.
Super
How
Bowl.
long do they last?
Oh, probably not till the next season.
I don't-
Unless the NFL comes with a
Well,
good
that's just
deal.
her, like, what? Travis Kelce, dude, really?
I don't know.
He's just like a dude. Like he's a. I mean, he's a rich dude, but she's incredible. She doesn't need his money. She's way more rich.
Okay,
than him.
name off available quarterbacks.
Yeah,
I
there's-
think that's what you
they
got
all
to start
they
doing.
all got
And then they have to be a quarterback.
model wives.
They have to be a quarterback on a team that has a chance of getting there.
Yeah.
I think you start like restricting
Yeah.
your pool of eligible bachelors.
He just
at that
doesn't seem. I don't know. Yeah, that's funny.
point. I don't know.
Huh. Okay. Glad we came back for
There you
that.
go.
We came back for that. Bring
All right.
it. Yeah.
All right.